Hello, and welcome to another episode of Ryan's Ranch Roundup. I'm your host, Ryan Heiss. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about stormwater ponds, of which we have about 300 man-made systems in Lakewood Ranch. These ponds serve as very important community amenities. In fact, a recent University of Florida survey resulted in that 73% of the residents noted that they think that these ponds increase their property value, which makes sense because homeowners that purchased along these ponds have purchased at a lakefront premium. Additionally, these ponds serve two very important functions. One, they help with flood control, slowly releasing water during heavy rain events. Two, they help filter out nutrients and sediments. So there are two common concerns as it relates to stormwater ponds. One being algae blooms. Algae blooms are problematic at times, however, that's when we know that our system is working. That's because nutrients are being assimilated or consumed by algae that otherwise would be consumed downstream in the Braden River or perhaps in Tampa Bay. The other concern is aquatic vegetation. The common concern there is that aquatic vegetation will take over an entire pond system. However, the vegetation is limited in growth by the depth of the pond. Each pond having a different contour will have a different amount of vegetation within it. There is a district policy that states that no aquatic vegetation will be removed. That's because the aquatic vegetation is helpful in adding oxygen to a pond system and also taking up nutrients that would otherwise be consumed by algae. So what does Lakewood Ranch do to maintain our ponds? Well, first we have a lake maintenance contractor that goes out and they treat our algae blooms and they focus on picking up trash. But largely this is reactionary in that nutrients enter our stormwater pond systems through our landscape and then we go out and we treat the result. But there are a few preventative maintenance techniques that we utilize as well. These techniques include using aeration units. And we have these in our most problematic ponds and these help add oxygen to the pond system. Another technique we use is the installation of triploid carp. These are fish that eat submerged vegetation, reducing the overall amount of vegetation within the stormwater pond. So education is a big part of reducing the amount of money that we spend on pond maintenance. And so what can you do as a resident to reduce the amount of nutrients that go into our water systems? One, focus on your landscape maintenance practices. There's a Manatee County fertilizer ordinance that's in place that blocks out the amount of fertilizer, specifically nitrogen, from the beginning of June to late September. Also, if you use a landscape maintenance contractor, make sure they're certified by Manatee County. Also, make sure that there's no pet waste going into our pond systems. This adds harmful fecal chloroform bacteria. Also, pay attention to your grass clippings. Make sure that they stay within your turf areas. Last but not least, enjoy the aquatic vegetation that grows around the perimeter of our pond. So thank you for joining us on this episode of Ryan's Ranch Roundup, where we learned a little bit about stormwater ponds. One, they serve as an on-site water treatment facility. Two, they help us control flooding. Last but not least, they're a beautiful community amenity for all of us to enjoy. So we hope you enjoyed your time. We hope to see you again real soon.